Are you in the market for a cheaper place to retire or live in the United States? Have you messaged me about this? If any of those are true, today I'm going to give you some options. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the world according to Briggs, and another video about living a little bit cheaper. I get a lot of questions and emails from people looking for places to retire on a social security check, military retirement, or people that are just trying to save money for a house down payment or they got a bunch of student loans. I'll tell you right off the bat, you're not going to find anything from California or New York on this list. Plenty of Americans are going into retirement where their only source of income is a monthly check from the Social Security Administration, which is in the neighborhood of about $1,500 a month. That's how we came up with the threshold. Where can you live for under $1,500 a month? The average worker's income is about $3,000 a month, so about double what Social Security is. And if you retire from the military after 20 years, you see about $2,500 a month if you're enlisted and about $4,700 a month if you were commissioned, meaning an officer. That's on average. What we did was find decent places in the United States where you could live on less than $1,500 a month. In all the income examples given, this should be easy to do. Now, obviously there's different expenditures that we're not counting in here. This is just the average person. This is going to be what the average person needs to eat, buy clothes, medicine, pay for housing, utilities, etc., and came up with the best towns in the US where you could live for the $1,500. If you guys really like this video and want to know about more places like this, I've got at least 50, so I could do at least 5 videos like this. Let me know in the comment section below. If we get enough likes on this video and enough views, we'll definitely do it, because this one's kind of interesting and a lot of people ask for it. All right, let's take a look. Number 10, Detroit Beach, Michigan. Detroit Beach is a small community about 40 minutes south of Detroit on Lake Erie. 40 minutes is just far enough away where you don't get any of that Detroit stank on you. Detroit Beach gets a livability score of 88. Not bad for being so close to Detroit. Detroit Beach has a little over 2,000 residents and a crime rate that sits 68% lower than the national average. Again, being so close to Detroit, that's phenomenal. If they could just get the word Detroit out of their name, the place would be really appealing to most. Detroit Beach is almost all single-family homes, but rent in this area averages around $750 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. The average person can live on $1,469. Number 9, Apache Junction, Arizona. Whenever I hear of Apache Junction, I think of that movie Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton played a Santa, and he's just a loser, but this kid sits on Santa's lap, and then he looks at him and goes, "Hey, your beard's fake." And he's all, "Yeah, it is." And the kid's all, "What happened to your real beard?" Billy Bob Thornton said, "The hair fell out." The kid asks why, and Billy Bob Thornton said he got sick. The kid said, "Why?" again, and Billy Bob Thornton said, "I loved a woman who was unclean." And then the kid goes, "Where?" And he's all, "I don't know, kid, Apache Junction." Anyway, Apache Junction is quietly picking up steam for retirees. It is a suburb on the east side of Phoenix. About 33% of the residents here are over 65, and their only real knock is the schools aren't the best, and that's according to Area Vibes. Everything else, their stats are great. The average 1-bedroom apartment rents for just $482 in Apache Junction, so you'll have extra money to do whatever. The average monthly expenditure in Apache Junction is $1,405. Number 8, Carnegie, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is a nice city with great suburbs. Sure, it has some crime, like all big cities, but it has some great places to live. One of the more affordable and nice suburbs is Carnegie and its 8,000 residents. Named after industrialist, anti-labor activist, and compulsive library builder Andrew Carnegie. Carnegie has a creek running right through town and a great livability score, 84. Out of 100, like I said before. People that make more than $1,500 will have plenty of money to spend on other things like Steelers games if they live in Carnegie. The rent in Carnegie, Pennsylvania is $750 a month. The average person here can live on $1,400.48 a month. Not bad. Number 7, Bedford, Ohio. Bedford is on the outskirts of the Cleveland metro area. Forget what you've heard about Cleveland. Bedford is a good place to live. They have a livability score of 84. Oh look, score, 84. That rhymes. Like a poem. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Everything I say seems to come out that way. I should be a rapper. Okay, speaking of rapping, let's wrap this one up. If you're retired, I have some good news for you about Bedford. This area of the country's healthcare costs on average are 16% lower than the national average. That's good. Rent in Bedford, Ohio, on average is $760 a month. And that helps out with your total monthly expenditure here. You only need $1,390 a month to survive in Bedford. Number 6, Wausau, Wisconsin. I've never been to Wausau, but from what I've seen, it's beautiful. The stats are great, and I asked one of my Twitter followers that lives near there, he lives in Tomahawk, Wisconsin, what he thought about the place. He said, the small town feel is so strong here, you'll find it hard to believe that they have 40,000 residents. They have great festivals every summer, and he said it's one of the better places to live in Wisconsin. I asked him, what about retired? He said, great. And he also said, raising a family here, it's the perfect place. He said he doesn't have kids. If he did, he'd probably move there. The Wisconsin River runs right through town, so there's a lot to do when it comes to like kayaking, fishing, all that good stuff. Rent in Wausau, Wisconsin, on average, is $657 a month. The monthly expenditure you're going to need is $1,350 a month. That's it. We're getting lower. Rent here is only $654 a month. Number 5, Logansport, Indiana. A lot of towns in Indiana are getting a second look in the last year or two. Retirees and people that work remotely are finding places to live in Indiana's towns. Mostly because it's cheap, Indiana is filled with good people, and it doesn't have many jobs, and that helps make everything cheap. So if you're bringing a job with you, or you're retired and you really don't need one, Logansport is a perfect place for you. The livability score is 77, which isn't the best on this list, but it's respectable. Logansport has under 20,000 residents, 2 rivers, and a really low cost of living. They have a little bit of crime here, but it's not crazy. And stop typing. Everyone always seems to think that their town is the worst when it comes to crime. Don't get your street cred in the comment section of a YouTube channel. Logansport is not that bad. And stop typing again. You don't need to live there to know that. Don't fear stats. Don't fear numbers. The average rent in Logansport is $630 a month. That is solid. The total monthly expenditure you're looking at to live in Logansport, $1,301. Not bad. Number 4, Holly, Michigan. Holly's livability score is a little bit lower than some of the other ones on this list again, but it's so cheap it sort of makes up for it. Their livability score is 76. You can survive here on $1,280 a month, and the rent will only run you about $700. This town is small and adorable, with only a little over 6,000 residents. The thing that sucks about this place is the 2 major cities near here are Flint and Detroit. Not great options. Sort of like having to choose between a toothache and hemorrhoids. Number 3. Coopersville, Michigan. Coopersville is about 20 minutes west of Grand Rapids, and the people here seem to love this place. The livability score is 84, and it has decent schools and very little crime. Like all of Michigan, if you don't like cold winters, that may be a deal breaker for retirees. Retirees hate the cold weather. I'm not at the retirement age yet, but I hate the cold weather myself sometimes. It starts to ache a little bit, but you get through it. I still like it better than the heat, though. Rent here is pretty low. $620 a month will get you a nice 1-2 bedroom place. 1 bedrooms I saw as low as $500 here, so kind of nice. Your total monthly expenditure in Coopersville will be about $1,266. That's cheap. And with Grand Rapids right there 20 minutes away, it's not a bad place to live. Number 2. Blair, Nebraska. Blair, Nebraska is one of those towns we have all across America that probably wouldn't be there if it wasn't for a train. Blair was even named after John Inslee Blair, who was a giant businessman in the rail industry way back when. Blair is just off the Missouri River, and it's surrounded by farmland about 30 minutes north of Omaha, Nebraska. This place is a nice place to live. Very little crime, schools are decent, it gets cold in Nebraska, let's face it. It's no Arizona. Again, Blair has just about 8,000 residents. They think they'll crack it in the 2020 census, but it has around 8,000. Now, this place is pretty inexpensive to live here. Rent is only $650 a month on average, and your total monthly expenditure, what you're going to need to live here, is about $1,257 a month. That's it. Now, I keep saying a month because if I don't, people will ask, well, what's that $1,257? Is that a month or is that a year? Or I get ridiculous questions like that all the time. I'm not even kidding. It's kind of scary sometimes. All right, before we get to number 1, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, become a, productive member of our little community here at World According to Briggs. It would be greatly appreciated. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. Having the coolest name on the list, you have this little suburb outside of Pittsburgh called Turtle Creek. If you look at it from a satellite, it looks like the whole town was built around this rehab center at the top of the hill. But the town's been there much longer than rehab was ever a thing. Turtle Creek has been losing population since the 1950 census. Yeah, every single census, they've lost like 14%, 21, 16, 5%, 7%, and the last one, they lost 12%. That's why this place is so cheap. People are moving out, and it's a nice place to live. The average rent in Turtle Creek is $450 a month. The livability score in Turtle Creek is 82, and their average rent is $450. This is a great place for retirees. About a quarter of the residents of Turtle Creek are 65 years and older. What it costs you to live here is about $1,190 a month. Just under $1,200 will get you by in Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania. All right, that's our video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. What was your favorite one on this? Which one would you consider moving to? I'd love to hear about it. I want to do some more of these because this is a great topic and a lot of people ask a lot of questions. If we get enough likes and enough, views, we'll do another one pretty quick. If you know a really cheap town near where you live, love to hear about it in the comment section. All right, like I said before, don't forget to hit that subscribe and that like button. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.